Hello, folks. Disasters don't strike without warning. They whisper, they leave clues, and Kashmir has ignored every single one. History recalls Kashmir has always been a flood story, not a Pahalgam story. In September 2014, children played cricket as usual until the floods turned play into silence. A cat was seen clinging to a wooden plank, drifting helplessly on the Jhelum. One child whispered, "Such is the flood, that even a cat floats on planks to survive." The valley had drowned. Roads vanished. Homes collapsed. Even hospitals became victims. People's backs were broken, yet hearts refused to break. In the last 125 years, floods have struck Kashmir again and again. 1893, 1903, 1959, 2014. In 2025, the river Jhelum, quiet most of the year, turns into a monster when the skies open up. Once again, history recalls. Water doesn't forgive. It remembers the paths, and one day, it comes back to claim its inherited share. But here lies the real suspense. We had lessons, data, and stories of survival. And yet, 8 years later, Kashmir stands just as vulnerable. Why? Because instead of education, we became uneducated. The global clock moves, Kashmir stands still. Kashmir isn't just beautiful. It's a bowl, an oval-shaped valley, 145 kilometers long, 44 kilometers wide, a paradise carved by rivers and mountains. But paradise has a design flaw. Think of it like a giant bathtub, and when the sky opens up, there's nowhere for the water to escape. And then Kashmir becomes the bowl of doom. On the edges, mountains rise like walls, 3 kilometers high and just 22 kilometers. When glaciers melt and rains come, the streams don't flow, they slash. They tear through karewas, ripping soil apart before crashing into the Jhelum. Nature designed a perfect trap: mountains, plateaus, rivers, all conspiring to funnel destruction into the valley floor. The river Jhelum, born at Varanag, is the valley's spine. It splits Kashmir east to west. Once it was a lifeline. Traders sailed 102 kilometers from Baramulla to Anantnag without a single lock. Jhelum was once Kashmir's highway, its pride. Today it's nothing more than a choked drain. Floods have dumped silt at its bottom, and the authorities stay silent. No report, no proof of dredging. Just another cosmetic makeover. The Jhelum can only carry 1/3 of its total catchment's fury. The rest, it spills. From the east, springs and streams, Litter, Kokernag, Achabal rush in. From the west, rivers with muscle, Vishav, Ramushi, Dunganga slam the valley like hammers. Every tributary is a soldier of nature, and when they march together, the valley has no defense. They all meet at Wooler Lake, the valley's last lung. But Wooler has one throat, a single narrow gorge to Pakistan. Imagine a stampede through a doorway built for one. Floods here aren't accidents. They're programmed, written into the valley's DNA. Now let's understand why it had become so dangerous. The Litter Valley has lost more than 14% of its forests in less than 2 decades. Kolahoy, the glacier we once called the crown of Kashmir, has melted away by 17%, which means Kashmir's lungs were collapsing and its glaciers were vanishing. And then came September 2014. For 7 days straight, the valley was hammered with relentless rain. Southern districts drowned under clouds that refused to lift. At Sangam, the Jhelum swelled like a beast, its discharge peaking at a terrifying 125,000 cusecs per second. Floodwaters should have reached Wular Lake. They didn't. Instead, they spread like an invading army across the valley floor, drowning Srinagar's heart. Rajbagh, Jawahar Nagar, Indira Nagar, entire neighborhoods submerged for weeks, 800 villages swallowed, 353, 864 structures destroyed. The numbers were staggering: 1 trillion in total damage, 30,000 crore lost in housing, 70,000 crore wiped from businesses, 6,000 kilometers of roads broken, twisted, erased, 381 metric tons of apples never produced. Loss, 245 crore. And yet relief was almost laughable, a pittance against colossal damage. The valley wasn't just flooded, it was betrayed by its own silence. Every glacier lost, every marsh filled, every canal buried had written the script. 2014 wasn't just a disaster, it was a warning. But the question still hangs, heavy and unanswered. What if the water gushes out of Sangam at 4 lakh cusic per second? What if Doobta and Jhelum rage together? What if multiple cloudbursts strike in a single day or week? The answer is simple. The next flood won't just match 2014, it will be 10 times more catastrophic. The real question is, will this happen? Emotions say maybe, but historical data says it's inevitable. And here is the historical footprint of fury. 1957 and 1959. Sangam roared with 80,000 to 1 lakh cusics, tearing past all safe limits. 1992, 65,000 cusics, a reminder that the river never forgets. And then came 2014, 1,35,000 cusics per second. A monstrous surge, 4 times beyond what the Jhelum was ever meant to hold. Each flood leaves behind a bigger scar, pushing the river's rage higher. And next time, don't expect a warning. With global climate chaos at play, the flood won't wait for you to run. It may strike while you sleep, turning your rest into an eternal sleep. Because the water will rise faster than you can ever wake up. Nature whispers before it screams. The real question is, are we listening? Odisha did. Scarred by the 1999 supercyclone, it built India's first early warning system in 2018. Along 480 kilometers of coast, 870 shelters now stand ready, backed by trained youth, tech, and drills. Its mantra is simple: warning saves lives. The world gets it too. California's My Shake app turns a tiny buzz into survival. 10 seconds. That's the line between life and death. Japan, Oregon, Washington, they all live by drills. Seconds are survival. But floods? They're no longer just water. They're broken systems. Old methods, higher embankments, deeper channels, have failed. The new wisdom is sharper. Don't fight water. Dance with it. This is the philosophy of water-sensitive urban design. Design cities to absorb, slow, and guide water instead of fearing it. Build multifunctional infrastructure that doubles as parks and flood basins. Create resilience, not resistance. But here's the catch. Technology is not the problem. Institutions are. Laws lag behind. Agencies clash. Long-term planning collapses under short-term politics. That's the real danger zone. As one renowned environmentalist, Ashok Kool, bluntly puts it, we don't drown in water, we drown in mismanagement. For a safer tomorrow, we need more than gadgets and apps. We need vision. We need leaders who can look beyond electoral cycles and citizens who demand accountability. Always remember, water has memory. It comes back stronger, always stronger. If you like this video, hit that share button and subscribe.